Ladies and gentlemen, we now take you back to the year 1942. The United States is at war. And like many celebrities of the day, Jack Benny brought his radio show to the various military bases around the country to perform for the troops. You, the audience, are now part of the Bombardier Training School located at Midland Army Airfield. You are a bunch of young, female-starved soldiers who have been anxiously awaiting this, shall we say, cultural event. So act accordingly. Troops, at ease, we now bring you the Jello program starring Jack Benny. We are ready for our national affiliates to hook up, and we will be on the air in 5, 4.
The Jello program, coming to you from Midland Army Airfield in Texas, and brought to you by Jello and Jello Pudding, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingstone, Phil Harris, Melody Lane, Rochester, and yours truly, Don Wilson. At a recent officers' dinner, the menu was topped off by dessert a la Jack Benny. You guessed it, sir. This was Jello, a swell combination of orange, lemon, and lime, with that real extra-rich fruit flavor, and covered with whipped cream. Judging from the reports, it made a great hit. And after all, that's not so very surprising, because everybody enjoys those 6 delicious extra-rich flavors, as tempting and refreshing and satisfying as the real ripe fruit itself. So when you want a dessert the family is sure to welcome, look for those big red letters on the box. They spell Jello, and Jello spells a treat. And now, ladies and gentlemen, inasmuch as our program is coming to you today from Midland Army Airfield, it is with great pleasure that I bring you that eminent authority on aviation, Flying Jack Benny!
Oh, thank you. Jello again. This is Jack Benny talking. Flap, flap. I'm flying, boys, and Don, that was really a lovely introduction. I mean, calling me an eminent authority on aviation. How did you ever find that out about me, Don?
Why, don't you remember, Jack? Just before the program, you told me that's how you want to be announced.
Oh, yes, but that's the truth, Don. It isn't commonly known, but years ago I was the first person to think of the airplane. Only it so happens that a couple of other fellows perfected it before I did. The Smith brothers, Orville and Wilbur, they beat me to it.
Pardon me, Jack. But don't you mean the Wright brothers?
The who? Oh, yes, the Wright brothers. The Smith brothers perfected the cough drop before I did. Everybody's got the jump on me.
Well, that's very interesting. But tell me, Jack, whatever gave you the idea for a flying machine?
Oh, you mean the airplane. Well, I was sitting on the fence one day when a flock of pigeons flew over my head, and a thought struck me. Anyway, I said, if those things can fly, so can Benny. So I made a pair of canvas wings, tied them onto my bicycle, and rode right off the roof of my father's barn.
And what happened?
I lit on my head, and I've been a comedian ever since. For a few years, I was quite silly, and then I became sophisticated. But that's what an inventor has to go through. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Hi, Jack.
Well, that's some kind of applause you got there, Mary. The boys here seem to know you.
Why not? I met most of them last night at the Stardust Lounge.
Stardust Lounge? Oh, yes, that's the nightclub over in Odessa. How did you wind up there?
I had a date with the cutest soldier. You know, he was probably the most bashful fellow I've ever met.
What do you mean, bashful?
He said as soon as there was a blackout, he was going to kiss me.
Well, Mary, as I look over the sea of faces out there, I would say that you got the only non-wolf in the outfit. No kidding.
You mean I could do better tonight?
Well, speaking of the Stardust Lounge, I think I'll go down there one night and play my violin for the boys.
That'll empty out the place faster than an all-out alert.
No, I don't know about that.
Hey, Mary, you should have been here earlier. Jack was telling me about how he almost invented the airplane.
Well, he is full of baloney.
Well, then let me ask you something, sister. Why is it that when I was a kid in Waukegan, everybody called me Flying Jack?
Flying Jack?
Yes.
That's because you used to shoe flies for a blacksmith.
I did nothing of the kind.
I wish I had a nickel for every horse that kicked you in the face.
Oh, yeah? Well, you'd have about 35 cents, Smarty. That's all. And incidentally, those kicks didn't hurt my career as a comedian either. You know, it's amazing how close I came. Well, look who's here. If it isn't old Piano Teeth himself.
Hiya, Jackson. Well, here I am, fellas. Make Harris happy.
Say, Phil, why is it every time we broadcast from a new place, you always make an entrance asking for applause? Why not let the audience decide whether they want to give you a hand or not?
Well, I did that once, Jackson, and there was a lull. There was a lulu.
Oh.
Anyway, I didn't ask for applause. I just said, make Harris happy. They could have thrown me money or anything. I don't care. Another thing, what's the idea of calling me Piano Teeth? Are you jealous because my ivories are real?
Let me tell you something, Phil. Your teeth may be the real McCoy, but that smile of yours works from a button somewhere. I mean, that can't be on the level.
Button? You mean what I leave the band with?
Oh, that's a baton, Phil. You're a fine musician.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Sorry I'm late.
Well, hello, Melody. Take a bow. Well, where have you been? Why are you late?
I've been having lots of fun. You know, Mr. Benny, I've been walking all around the field.
You did?
Yes. I was up in hangars, and up in the buildings, and inside the planes, and all over the place.
Well.
Do you think I'll ever get my camera back?
I doubt it. Don't you know, Melody, you're not supposed to take pictures on any military encampment.
Who was taking pictures? The camera wasn't loaded.
Well, what's the idea of lugging an empty camera around?
My lunch was in it.
Oh.
The United States government owes me 1 hard-boiled egg and 2 ham sandwiches.
All right. I'll take it up with the colonel. In the meantime, why don't you sing your song?
Oh, okay. By the way, can I talk to you in private?
Well, of course, Melody. What is it?
Well, it's kind of personal.
Well, you can talk to me right here. What's on your mind?
Well, I'd like to know when you're going to start paying me for singing.
Oh, well, that's strange. I take care of you every week, don't I, Melody?
Yeah, but gee, I've got a cello now for 25 years.
Oh, well, look, Melody, you go back in and sing your song, and I'll think it over.
I wish you would. My house is so full of boxes, I can't walk around.
Well, just leave it to me, and everything will be all right.
Okay, Mr. Benny. This song is dedicated to all our brave service members, especially to you in the audience and to those who are listening over the Armed Forces Radio Network in Europe and in the Pacific. in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is blue, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
Performed by Melody Lane and the orchestra. And now we will... Oh, excuse me, folks. Hello?
Hello, boss. It's me, Rochester.
Well, hello, Rochester. How are things back in Beverly Hills?
Just fine, Mr. Benny. But don't get mad now. I broke one of your golf clubs.
Broke one of my golf clubs. Rochester, you had work to do. Why did you go out and play golf?
I didn't go out. I used your clubs to clean the house.
Now, that's ridiculous. How could you use my golf clubs to clean the house?
Easy. I wrapped rags around the driver, and I used it to mop the floors.
What?
I did the kitchen in 5 strokes, the pantry in 4. I had trouble in the hall, but by the time I hit the kitchen, I was 3 under par.
Well, if there's any way of making play out of work, you'll find it. I'm surprised you didn't try this little trick of yours in the living room.
I wanted to, but that dust on the piano is worse than a sand trap.
That I know. What are you laughing at?
Mr. Ben Hogan should have seen me this morning.
Why?
I chipped an apple core from your bedroom right into the garbage disposal.
Say, that's pretty... Wait a minute. From my bedroom? You've got to turn right in the library and then go through the dining room to get to the kitchen. So how could you do that?
I've got a natural slice.
Rochester, I don't care what you've got. Just leave my golf clubs alone.
Rochester, honey, hang up the phone and let's finish the game.
Rochester, who was that?
My caddy.
Now, cut that out, Rochester. Yes. I'll be home in a week, and the house better be spick and span when I get there.
Yes, sir. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, say, boss.
Now what?
that check you gave me, that had my first raise in salary, it bounced.
Oh, for heaven's sake. What was wrong? Improper signature?
Nope.
Insufficient funds?
Nope.
Then what was wrong?
They just wouldn't believe it.
Oh, well, I'll have it notarized. Don't worry. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Funny how a bank account can get all messed
Oh,
up.
Jack, can I read my poem now?
Well, sure. What poem?
The one I wrote about Midland Airfield.
Mary, we can do without one of those Livingstone epics tonight. Give these boys a break.
Oh, let her do it, Jack. Mary's poems are always so clever.
She can't do it now, Dawn. Phil's orchestra is about to play a number. Although I wish we had a better choice. I really do.
Now, wait a minute, Jackson. Are you trying to be facetious?
What? I beg your pardon.
I said, are you trying to be facetious? What's the matter? Didn't I pronounce it right?
I don't know what to say now. Phil, Phil, where did you ever get a hold of a word like facetious?
I got one of them Webster's under the bridge dictionaries.
Under the bridge? Phil, nobody could make that mistake but you and my writers. That word is unabridged. Anyway, Phil, let's have your band number. This is war and we can take it. Go ahead.
Oh, all right, Jackson. But look, I meant to tell you the band got here so late that we didn't have a chance to rehearse.
Oh?
Do you think that will make any difference?
Are you kidding? Go ahead, Phil. by the late George Gershwin, performed by Phil Harris and the orchestra.
Now, can I read my poem?
Oh, Mary, never mind the poem. Tear it up, will you?
Don't listen to him, Mary. He's just being facetious.
Phil, will you forget about that word?
Jack, if you don't let me read my poem, I'll tell the boys here that you still owe $8 on your toupee.
Now, just a minute, young lady. In the first place, I don't wear a toupee. In the second place it's paid for.
Then take the tag off.
That's not a price tag. That little ticket says, this side up. I can go along with the gag system.
And I can go along with the gag too. My dear lady, why don't you tell your husband to put on his toupee and go down to your neighborhood grocer for a package of Jell-O? It's not only easy to make, but economical as well. So you will find it's not hard to pay for.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
And remember, folks, Jell-O has that new locked-in flavor. The flavor doesn't go away.
I know. You put it in, and it's there to pay. I know. Don, you're a whiz. I give you an inch, and you make a commercial out of it.
I salute you, Midland Airfield, and I think you're really swell.
All right, Mary, go ahead with it. I'm going out for a glass of water.
Come back here, you coward.
Okay, let's get it over with. Go ahead.
I salute you, Midland Airfield, and I think you're really swell. If the Japs should get too close, you will blast them all to pieces.
Nice rhyming.
You want me to rhyme it?
Oh, no, continue.
I think the boys here are so cute. Private Major Colonel Lewitt, I love to dance with all the soldiers. They don't keep time, but how they hold ya.
Well, of course. I wouldn't know. Proceed.
Here we are near the town of Censored in the state of I ain't talking, and your hangar's full of don't ask me, I ain't squawking.
Well, what's that for? Why all the mystery?
Military secrets, Daddy-o, wake up.
Oh, yes, continue.
Your boys get leave to go to town to have some fun and clown around. They jump in the car and fill up with gas, but what can you do with a 6-hour pass?
Well, very good. You gotta stop now after that big laugh.
Wait a minute, I'm not done yet. The last verse is coming up.
Oh.
Before I close this lovely poem, I have a word for those at home. Now get this, folks, and keep on trying, because the bonds you buy will keep on flying. The end.
That's very good.
Are you expecting someone? I'll get it.
Howdy, Jack! You remember me? Hello, boys. How many of y'all from Texas?
Well, just who might you be, little stranger?
Name's Caliente Summers, the prickly pearl of Pecos. I met Jack back when he was out studying for his buck bending routine. We had a heck of a time. He invited me out to California to do a show, but with it being Roundup and all, well, I just couldn't get away. Then I heard on the radio that you was broadcasting from Midland Airfield, and I thought, you! Midland Airfield is just practically in my backyard. So I thought I'd just mosey on over and say hi. Hi, y'all!
Oh, yes, I remember. You were teaching me fancy rope tricks.
Shoot, you're no good at rope tricks, but you sure were good at flute shoeing flies.
Well.
I think he used his toupee to swat him.
Now, cut that out.
Yes, that was rather facetious of you.
Don.
Well, little lady, you sure have come along at a good time. I don't suppose you'd sing us a song, will you?
Why, sure, I can sing anything. Phil, what was you and the band about to play?
We're ready to play. They can't take that away from me.
Oh, yeah, that'll be just fine. Take it away, maestro.
But we haven't rehearsed.
Oh, will that make any difference?
Caliente Summers, Phil Harris in the band. I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, boss. It's me, Rochester.
Hello, Rochester. Oh, why are you calling now?
I got more bad news for you, Mr. Benny. You'll have to take the Greyhound back to California.
Why?
Well, here's what happened. I filled up the gas this morning and started out from Beverly Hills like you told me to.
In the Maxwell? What happened to my car?
Well, I was driving through Azusa when a big truck in front of me full of oranges suddenly stopped.
What happened?
Marmalade.
Rochester, I see no excuse for you smacking into a truck. What do you think the emergency brake is for?
It ain't for stopping. We found that out.
Well, tell me about my car. Is it damaged much?
No, it worked out fine. The fenders is all straight now.
Well, good, good.
But the right front tire's gone boom for the last time.
Well, I guess there's nothing else to do but go out and buy a new tire.
I beg your pardon?
I said go out and buy a new tire.
A new tire?
Yes.
Just a second. I'll put Superman on the phone.
Oh, that's right. Well, look, tires are rationed now. Tell you what, use the spare.
We ain't got no spare.
What?
I cut it up last week for rubber when you needed new heels for your brown shoes.
Oh, yes, darn it. Well, look, Rochester, I'll ride back with Mr. Harris and the boys in their bus. Meanwhile, you stay with the Maxwell.
You mean for the duration?
You can have that tire fixed. Now hang up. This is long distance.
Okay. Oh, say, boss, looks like you owe me $10 on that bet we made.
Yes, I know. Buddy Bear lost. What I can't understand is how Lewis knocked him out in the very first round.
Well, you see, Joe's in the Army now and he had to get back to camp before taps.
Oh, well, that explains it. So long, Rochester.
Goodbye.
Gee, I've got to get a tire. I wonder how that rubber tree in my greenhouse is coming along. Play, Phil. Number in the 35th program in the new Jello series. And we'll be back with you again next Sunday night at the same time. Say, Mrs. Summers, you wouldn't happen to have any spare tires on your spread, would you?
No rubber, just oil.
Oh, well, come on, Mary. We've got to find a place to buy a new tire.
You'll have to go by yourself, Jack. I'm spending my money on war bonds.
Good night, folks.
This broadcast is presented for the entertainment of personnel of Midland Army Airfield and does not constitute a commercial product endorsement for the War Department. This is the NBC Radio Network. Our program this evening.